excuse my presumption, Mrs. Sharples, but will you save us a large slice when the bread chap comes down? I'll call back later this after.
All dressed up for an inquest, are we?
About 3 o'clock?
I take it you're going to the inquest, then?
Well, what if I am?
Oh, nothing at all.
Well, thank you very much.
Mind you, if you weren't going, that would be something.
And just what does that mean?
Washing folks' dirty windows is one thing. Golfing while they wash their dirty linen in public is quite another.
It's a citizen's duty to go to inquests and that. You're supposed to.
Especially where there's something to savour, a chance to feel righteous.
Your Kenneth says it's not enough for justice to be done. It's got to be seen before you can, well, reckon it's been done proper like, in the due process.
Is that your excuse for going?
I'm only relating what Kenneth says. He's gemmed up on legal machinations.
Oh, yes.
What time does the due process start?
10:30. And I've just seen Minnie Cobbell in her best coat, not 10 minutes back.
Going where?
Like the clappers for the 94 bus into town. Where, I wouldn't know. But I have got an inkling. Morning.
Do you... excuse me.
It's, Mrs. Cobbell, isn't it?
I want to ask you something, if you're not too... you are, aren't you?
Well, the inquest starts very soon.
Right, sir.
However...
However what?
Well, come and sit down, will you? I should sit down there if I were you. That's right. Now, did you want to ask me something?
Yes. Do you take confessions? I mean, without making an appointment, like?
Oh, yes, at any time at all.
Oh, well, I'd like to confess. I've been wanting to for days.
Well, what is it you want to confess to?
Well, there's been policemen all over just lately, you know.
Yes?
They could be on to me. Only I don't think they are. Not yet.
No, I don't think they are, not yet.
A confession would be in my favour, then.
Well, you know what they say in the television plays, Mrs. Cobbell. The police can't strike bargains with villains, can they?
No.
But, of course, on the other hand, a word in the right...
right quarters?
Yes, that's right.
Well, you see, I've been cleaning for Mr. Bagley in Station Road, 191, next to the chip shop, ever since they started selling Indian curries to take out on Tuesday.
And?
Thursday, too, I think.
Yeah, but what has this cleaning for Mr. Bagley got to do with the police?
Well, I've been paid for it.
Well, we're on the right side of the law so far.
£1.12, that's what he paid me, and that's what I spent.
Mm-hmm.
On top of my pension. And anything on top of your pension, you're supposed to...
Declare.
Yes.
And you didn't. And you've spent it. Well, it's a nice, tidy, clean confession, just the way we like it.
Oh, I feel much better now that I've made it.
Now, let's think about that word in the right ear. Look, suppose I promise to forget everything you've told me. Will you promise me something in return? Well, the next time you're in Weatherfield, I want you to go into the Social Security office and ask for Mr. Davidson. And I want you to tell him, word for word, everything I've just promised to forget. All right, Mr. Davidson?
And will he prefer charges?
No, I think he'll prefer to set your mind at rest. This is the way to go along here.
Thank you.
Morning, Mr. Sharples.
Good morning.
It was you asked me to come over and hump a dirty great box of stuff, heavy enough to break lesson men me by the dozen over to the maisonette, wasn't it, love?
I asked you to collect the groceries.
I need challenges, not chores.
Well, your challenge is not quite ready yet. It needs a couple of toilet rolls, and they're in the back.
Oh, the magic's fading fast from this one.
Well, Faircluff's giving evidence, isn't he?
That's what they tell me.
You going down?
I can say that again,
Oh, you're going down?
The Nick, friend, that's what I'm going down, the Nick.
Oh, you're not going to the coroner's court, then?
Mate, we have got a job on that suddenly become I've got a job on. That means me, personally, on me Todd, doing a solo by myself.
Point taken.
I mean, there's limits, Ken, and we passed them days back. And today's another day gone. As far as I can make out, it's for some pantomime to show us that Steve Tanner is dead.
Yes, but it might just be a pantomime to show us that murder isn't masquerading as accidental death.
Yeah, well, that's just a load of academicals to me, Professor. I was a school dropout before I was 4.
You didn't get round to dropping in, you mean? That were truant in my day.
Look, I just came in here for a packet of fags, not group therapy.
I just happen to think that the coroner's job is fairly important, that's all.
I'll bet Steve Tanner's not worried.
Yes, well, the coroner's working for Steve Tanner, isn't he? He's a sort of ombudsman for the dead, if you like.
Great. Now we can all die happy.
I swear by Almighty God, the evidence I give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Doctor, your name is Dr. Gavin Watterson, and you are a registered medical practitioner, pathologist at the Royal City General Hospital?
Yes, sir.
On September the 28th last, did you make an examination of the body of the deceased, Stephen Edward Tanner?
Yes, sir.
And would you tell me, Dr. Watterson, what you found?
Yes, sir. The deceased was a man of 45 years of age, 6 foot tall and of average nourishment. Apart from severe bruising to the body, I found a fracture of the skull, the brain was contused, and there was a fracture of the cervical vertebrae.
The neck was broken.
Yes, sir.
Please continue.
Well, apart from the injuries I've mentioned, I was unable to find anything else that could have contributed towards his death.
In your opinion, Dr. Watterson, what was the cause of death?
Brain contusion, sir, as a result of a fracture of the skull in association with a fracture of the cervical vertebrae.
Thank you. Doctor, could these injuries have been caused by falling down a flight of stairs?
The injuries are consistent with a severe fall of some description, sir.
Possibly a flight of stairs.
Yes, sir.
Now, about the fracture of the skull and the brain contusion, Doctor, could these injuries have been caused by the fall or possibly by a blow to the head or blows to the head by some unknown object?
I'd say the injuries are consistent with a fall down a flight of stairs, sir.
Well, could they have been consistent with blows to the head?
Yes, sir.
Or perhaps some of the injuries were caused by the fall and some by blows to the head?
Possibly, sir.
One last question, Doctor. If, in fact, the blows to the head, there had been blows to the head, would it be possible to determine if they'd been received before or after the fall?
No, sir. In my opinion, that would not be possible.
Thank you, Dr. Watterson. Any questions, Inspector Carson? The court appreciates you're a busy man, Doctor. I don't think there's any necessity for you to stay.
Thank you, sir.
Good day, Dr. Watterson. Could I please have Major Douglas Evans? Thank you, Major. Would you please take the witness box?
Good morning, Mrs. Sharples. Good morning. How's the new charm making out?
Mr. Ogden?
Charm lover Esquire, if that's what you mean. Mind you, there's more ugly dreams knocking about than pleasant ones.
Do you know, Mrs. Sharples, I have only had pleasant dreams for, well, at least 15 years.
What a word.
Indeed, yes. Courage, kindness, the constant turning of the other cheek. These attributes give one peace of mind and are far more telling in the end.
A blooming sight harder to find in the end and the beginning and all points in between.
Precisely, Mrs. Sharples. The finest pearls lie deepest in the ocean.
That's been borne out time and time again, Mrs. Walker.
Thank you, Stanley.
Oh, when you take your triple chance selections, where do you find them? The first division, second, third or fourth? No. You find your pearls, like you say, Mrs. Walker, right down at the bottom in the Scottish League. That's where they are.
We were talking about character, you know. Courage. The courage to find strength from within.
So am I, love. Listen, if you got 4 or 5 draws in the Bagpipe League, that's courage in anybody's language.
I swear by Almighty God, the evidence I give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Would you like a chair, Mrs. Tanner?
No, I'm all right, thank you.
You're Mrs. Elsie Tanner, and you live at number 11 Coronation Street?
Yes, that's right, sir.
You first met the deceased in 1943, I believe.
Yes, sir.
At that time, you were married to a Mr. Arnold Tanner.
I was very young at the time, sir, and he served overseas during most of the war.
Please, Mrs. Tanner, this is not a court of morals. Wartime marriages tended to be a law unto themselves anyway.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
I gather this first marriage was not a singular success.
No, sir.
Now then, the deceased Sergeant Stephen Tanner returned to England early last year. Is that correct? I'm sorry, Mrs. Tanner, but I must ask you to answer yes or no.
Yes, sir.
There was a reunion leading to your marriage on the 4th of September last year. Shortly afterwards, your husband was ordered to return to America, which he subsequently did, accompanied by yourself. Is that substantially correct, Mrs. Tanner?
Yes, sir.
You returned from America in the spring of this year, no longer wishing to cohabit with your husband, hoping, in fact, for an eventual divorce. Correct, Mrs. Tanner?
Yes, sir.
It may be construed that this marriage deteriorated rapidly. Members of the jury, I would advise you to ignore this point. Marriages often cease to exist within 3 days. In comparison, the 5 or 6 months of this one could well be considered a lifetime.
If I'd been...
Yes, Mrs. Tanner, please go on.
I was going to say, sir, that we had warning signs before we left this country.
Thank you. And as a newlywed, you were anxious to overlook any changes in the deceased's attitude towards you.
Yes, sir, I think so.
Would you say that by the time you arrived in America, something of the newness of the marriage was gone?
Yes, I would. We had to adjust ourselves. We had to learn to live together, and that wasn't very easy. There was a great deal of contempt and not much respect.
I see. You accept some of the blame, then? I have documents here suggesting that your husband was an intolerant man and never admitted making a mistake, secretive about his movements, mind made up, nothing would change it, right or wrong. Is there any truth in these assessments, to the best of your knowledge, Mrs. Tanner?
Yes, sir.
One occasion, did Sergeant Tanner strike you?
On more than one occasion. He may well have had cause to, sir. My temper isn't all it should be.
Unless the blow or blows were in retaliation, your temper is irrelevant.
Thank you, sir.
Now, there was a considerable argument quite recently.
You mean when he came back to this country?
That's right, Mrs. Tanner.
Well, we had one, sir. It was...
Ugly?
Yes, sir.
I understand Sergeant Tanner had been pressing you to return to live as his wife.
Yes, he wanted...
There's a legal phrase, Mrs. Tanner. A restitution of conjugal rights.
Cheers in your beer, eh?
I never water down good food, Mr. Walker.
Oh, well, a couple of hours will see you back again, I reckon.
Huh?
Len, that's why you got a face like a yard of pump water, it did.
Aye, 1% of it's for him, Mr. Walker, and 99% in morning for job. He's in that court witnessing, and I'm sitting in the yard waiting, and come Friday, we'll both collect 1 day's pay for doing sweet Fanny Adam.
Ah, well, he's on the last lap now, lad. Soon be all right.
Councillor Faircluff, as you define the word, would you say you were a violent man?
No more than most.
No more than most councillors, sir.
If you like. I'm aggressive in business and in the council chamber, if you like.
I think we can dismiss mental attitudes, Councillor Faircluff. I'm thinking more of a man who can be goaded into using violence, perhaps more easily than most other men. However, you are not a violent man.
I have been in fights.
Often?
I don't know what constitutes often, but I've never walked away from one.
Surely discretion is the better part of living to fight again.
Discretion means to me, no guts, sir.
Yes. You did walk away from Claydon Court on the night Sergeant Tanner was found dead. Fingerprints have established your presence. You made 2 statements to the police. In the original, you said you did not go to Claydon Court that night.
Yes.
However, after your fingerprints were found, in profusion according to this, you changed your first statement and admitted you went to the flats and stood at the bottom of the stairs.
Yes, sir.
And then went away without seeing anyone. Councillor Faircluff, I would like to ask you again, and please remember you're under oath, if you saw Sergeant Tanner alive that night, and by saw I'm inferring that perhaps you spoke to him.
Yes, I saw him, and I spoke to him.
perhaps, Councillor, you could now tell us the whole truth.
I've known Mrs. Elsie Tanner for a long time. And when she was married, about a year ago, it was of my opinion then, and only my opinion, that it wouldn't work.
Well, the Lord High Executioner were asking Dave Smith about the £1,000 that Steve Tanner owed him. I should be so lucky. Why did Dave let it get as high as £1,000?
Natural phenomenon, love, like an eclipse of the wallet.
Yeah, but he usually gets the heavy mob to lean on you if you owe him. I mean, that's his style. According to the Gospel of St. David, Steve Tanner put £5 on the second favourite at Doncaster. One day later and £5 poorer, he puts a tenner on the nose of the second favourite at Thirsk, doubling them up.
Yeah, well, professionals reckon that if you keep doubling up, you eventually end up even Steven, you know, with your original stake.
Even Stephen Tanner didn't.
Well, if you put a £5 on and you double, 10, and well, you're over 1,000 in no time.
Hey, if you ask me, I bet Dave Smith egged Steve on for laughs.
And then dried up his credit. Hey, when's chucking out time?
Hmm? The coroner's a go-go.
I don't know.
Is the inquest over then?
Is it, Ina?
I'm asking you. I thought you... What you got your going out coat on for?
It's for going out in.
Where?
I've been. I'm coming back in it.
It's like playing ping pong in a distorting mirror.
Oh, I've never tried.
Neither have I. It's an apt expression, not a new hobby.
That's a funny thing to say all of a sudden.
I don't think it's all that funny.
Was it just something to say in passing, Ina?
It's just something in trying to establish where you've been.
Into town.
Into town? And what did you do while you were there?
Well, I've sorted it out. Everything's all right now.
Hey, do you mind if I take in a bit of the inquest?
Very much. If there's one place I don't want you today, it's at that inquest.
Well, why not? There's not much around today that could shock me.
And do you wonder that I'm not an advocate of the permissive society?
Oh, I know. It appalls you.
It saddens me. I've grown out of being appalled by teenagers.
Why saddens?
Well, if there's nothing much around to shock you, there's nothing much around to delight you either.
Well, now I've turned into the bride of Dracula. Do you mind if I go?
No. This is an inquest on a man who died in violent circumstances.
I know.
Who was served in this very barn not a year ago. And there will obviously be details of this man's marriage to Mrs. Tanner and the ensuing troubles and so on. None of which would shock a member of the rising generation like yourself, of course. But some things may be difficult for Mrs. Tanner to recall.
You must also consider a number of puzzling features. There's the question of money, a not inconsiderable sum, you may think. The will is in Mrs. Tanner's favour. Mrs. Tanner says she had no idea that she was the main beneficiary. Although it is not necessarily a reasonable assumption for one spouse to believe he or she automatically benefits from the death of the other. Of Mrs. Tanner's movements, there is that gap of 45 minutes of which we know nothing, except from her own statement which says that it was spent walking. Unfortunately, the inquiries, exhaustive inquiries, have produced no witnesses to corroborate Mrs. Tanner's evidence. We know, too, that the deceased quarrelled loudly with Mrs. Tanner, Councillor Faircluff, and possibly a third person, of whom there's no trace. Bear in mind, too, the injuries sustained. While these are perfectly consistent with a fall to the foot of the stairs at Claydon Court, the pathologist in his medical evidence confirmed the possibility that the injuries could also have been caused by blows upon the head, either before or after the fall. I'm inclined to think that so many puzzling features in one case should be considered ambiguous or disturbing factors. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, before I ask you to consider your verdict...
Oh, yes, and where did that tale start?
Not Greenough. She said Elsie's been left a packet.
Merry widows are bad enough, but merry wealthy widows were past redemption.
Oh, I think I'd enjoy myself buying monogrammed shirts from a young hairdresser.
Look, money is like milk.
I know, in a pile it stinks, but spread it around thin and it works wonders. Was it potted meat you wanted?
Any news yet?
Yes, Mr. Foreman?
Sir, we find a verdict in accordance with the medical evidence, and we return an open verdict.
Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, please.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Walker, but I'm afraid you got it wrong.
A verdict, Kenneth, is a verdict.
Sometimes it's not proven in Scotland.
That means they're not sure whether you're dead or not.
Not proven comes up in a criminal court, not in a coroner's court.
Listen, I've done a bit. I'm only testing.
If you're right, and of course you may well be, it has a rather sinister ring about it to me. Is it recent legislation?
An Open's verdict has been legal practice for centuries.
Well, it's the first time I've come
Well, it
across
simply means that the evidence the police have collected isn't conclusive to say how Steve Tanner died, whether it was suicide, accident, manslaughter, or murder by persons and all the rest of
You
it.
mean being none of them, it might turn out to be one of them, eh?
Yes, exactly, Mr. Walker. That is what I've been trying to say.
You put it very clearly, Jack, with a plum.
But, Kenneth, is it really a way of playing for time?
Crikey, we're breaking through this afternoon, aren't we? Yes, that's it. That is it. It simply means that the police can go on digging and delving around for as long as they like.
Well, I think they raked up enough muck.
Now, look, Doc, the guy's your husband.
This is no time to discuss that.
Yeah, I know, kid. Look, he was up in Scotland and you were down here, and it was a nice arrangement.
For you?
For us.
Gregg, are you trying to give me the brush off?
Oh, now, don't put it like that, Doc.
What other way is there of putting it? So long, it's been nice to know you.
Look, kid, there were no arrangements, no promises.
That's right. No arrangements, no promises. Don't let me keep you.
Yeah, well, look, I'm sort of due back. I'll phone you, eh? I'll phone you tonight. So long, Doc. I'll see you around next time, eh? So long.
Len back yet?
No.
Well, he's having a time of that flipping inquest.
Yes, Stanley, that's why I'm sitting here bleeding for him.
You were?
You know, it's a very good question, that. Is Len back yet? Everybody's asking it.
And when he come asking if he's going for a pint?
What of, Stanley? The last interested inquirer wanted to slip him a cyanide and soda.
You're losing me, mate.
Join the club, mate. We're all getting lost. You have just missed Mr. Wilde, everybody's favourite contractor.
Good. We can do without him.
We are doing without him, mate. He's given us the jolly old Evo. We're out. Finished.
You were banking on that contract, weren't you?
Aye, true enough, Stanley, but if you take a job on, you know you've got to do it, and for that you need people.
Len back here?
You see what I mean?